Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. On the previous episode of Flying and Eating, my buddy Snowman and I went up to Michigan. We decided to check out, well, not check out, the Gerald Ford Presidential Library as well as the Henry Ford Museum of Innovation. We actually did do that, and you can see all that stuff. We also got, of course, Detroit-style pizza, but now we have to go scope out Detroit itself. Good morning. It is day 3. We are now in Detroit. As you can see, we've got the General Motors building up there. Have you ever been to downtown Detroit before?
Not ever.
Weirdly, neither have I. I mean, sort of. I've driven through it because the Canadian border, which you'll see Canada back there. We'll show you some of that.
Same.
I've driven through it just to go through that border. But we're actually going to explore a little bit of downtown. We're going to show you some of this little pier they got going on. I think we're at what's called the GM Promenade, General Motors Promenade. And so there's this whole beachfront here along the river. And we'll just show you some sights and see if we find any sort of adventure. And we're not that hungry because we ate the leftover pizza last night. I think we promised you guys we were going to do 2 more today. That ain't happening. We'll do one more.
Stomach can't handle it.
Yeah, well, the toilet can't handle it is what he's saying.
Neither.
So we're now at the center of the General Motors Promenade, and it's really iconic because of that center building. That's the one you'll notice from a distance. There's little screens on there that say GM, and they revolve around, and they show different car types and stuff like that. But very cool. You can turn over, and of course, you'll see Windsor, Canada. You can see the flag back there and everything. You'll also see some really annoying and stupid birds. Oh, sure, now you're quiet. In true international custom, the second you cross a border, which of course you can do right over there, you're greeted by a casino. There's a Caesar's Palace over there. I told you he was annoying. All right, so here's the thing. I'm no huge expert on the history of Detroit and let's say this region of Canada, Windsor specifically, but here's what I do know. Detroit was originally founded by the French. It was actually pronounced very differently. It was like Detroit, something like that. And we're Americans, so we're like, Detroit. And anyway, so the reason this city exists is we built a huge city right across from them because at the time they were British, and the British were our enemies from, the American Revolution and everything. And this is where our border stopped, and so they felt they had to fortify it. So this is once actually referred to as Fort Detroit, or aka Fort Detroit, now just Detroit, aka the Motor City. So this is real. The reason this city exists largely is because we were terrified of an invasion from them. Hence eventually the War of 1812, which we kind of started. Sorry about that. But yeah, and nowadays, of course, it's just this cool meeting point where the two countries, obviously Canada and the US border each other in a million different places, but this one's an interesting one just because all that really, separates them is this river, and you can so easily see the other country, each one advertising its flag, so you can very much tell which side you're on. And a simple border crossing over there on that bridge. There's underground bridges, there's above ground bridges, tunnels, I guess is what you would call the underground one. And we're gonna do that. Not today, but it's going to happen. Are you excited to go back to the Maple Empire?
Yeah.
See how the border is purely thick, viscous. This is not water. I know that's what you think it is. This is thick, viscous maple syrup. You have to get through this to get to Canada, and we're going to do it. You have to swim it, by the way.
No.
He's going to do it. I'm going to teach him.
Swim.
Well, you're going to learn.
Sink.
Oh, well, that's an option too. So he and I were thinking there needs to be a really good retro video game convention in Detroit, like one in downtown Detroit. Kind of like a Midwest Gaming Classic, a Portland Retro Game Expo, something like that. Downtown Detroit, we can all imagine all the usual buddies all hanging out down here. We do the con, but then of course when we want to, everybody can cross the border and go over to the casino and lose all our money and stuff. It's like a fun adventure video, but it doesn't exist.
Who says we'll have any money left when we're done with the convention?
Well, if you have any of those loonies, that's Canadian money. He didn't even know it. No.
I know it.
Okay, well the Canadian money's worthless. We'll go throw it over there. I'm sorry to all Canada.
Throw it in the river.
I mean, the courtyard of freedom. We're now on the front side of General Motors. I guess I should point out that I've kind of accidentally shown you the corporate headquarters of Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. So, whatever that's worth to you. Are you happy you saw all these car places?
Not really.
Do you think the viewers are happy about it?
Not really.
Someday, some way, somehow, perhaps, again, if there's a retro game con, I'd love to come back here, maybe with somebody who's local, and be like, take us to other things. You gotta understand, this is like our first time in downtown Detroit really ever, So aside from the GM Promenade, I really don't know what else to show you guys. But it doesn't mean the adventure's by any means over, because it sounds like we're going to get pizza relatively soon. Again! We know the
Pizza's good.
pizza is good. The pizza last night was really good, and we're looking forward to more of that. So we've done kind of a walk around of the whole area. You'll notice there's very few people. Now here's the thing. It is not a holiday. It is a Saturday on a normal week. You also notice over there's a yellow car. That's us. We're in the downtown, most touristy area of Detroit, and there's nobody here. What are we missing? Like, what's the reason for that?
Only thing I can think of, it's a little cold.
A little,
It's like
but
50.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Celsius, master race. Over there in Canada, they have it right about that one. I think it's like 13 Celsius for normal people. Yeah, I said it. You can tell we're near Canada because maple leaves are being burned into the concrete. So that's where the Detroit Lions play.
Boo.
All right. And then the Tigers.
Right next door.
So we're inside this like flea market we just kind of stumbled across. There's lots of like cool stuff, games, movies, music, toys. Power Rangers toy. This is supposed to be Kimberly. Her outfit looks a little wrong. And based on her face, Kimberly's a dude now? No, Amy Jo Johnson deserves better. This is actually him right there.
Past lifetime, yes.
Yes, where he dances naked with children. It is pizza time. That's car time. We are at this place that was recommended to us called Michigan and Trumbull. It's a weird name, but it's Michigan. That makes sense to some extent. And it's on a street called Trumbull, I think. I would just have called it like, Bob's Pizza Palace, or I don't know, maybe that's a little too clicky Vegas-y. I have no idea. Anyway, so take a quick look inside. We were told it has not a whole lot of real estate. And that appears to be true, but it is supposed to be quite good, and so if we can get a seat, we will. If not, we're taking it to go. Okay, so here's a look at the menu. They actually do Detroit-style white pizza, which is interesting. They showed us a sample size. It's not as big as the ones from last night, but we're still each decided we're getting our own.
It's the smart thing.
It is the smart thing. Well, it's not, but we're doing it anyway.
I mean, it is and it isn't.
It is and it is. He's gonna get the meat lovers. I'm gonna do my own. Tonight I'm just doing a pepperoni and this house-made hot honey. I'm gonna add that. And before you yell at me, I've had Detroit style before where they kind of put honey on the crust and it was like, but the thing, it was in Chicago. It wasn't here, so it wasn't official. But I mean, you were there actually.
I was there. It was good.
Honey oddly mixes really well with Detroit style pizza. Don't ask me why, and maybe I'll regret that decision later, but you'll know. I also just noticed they apparently have a pierogi pizza. All right, it's here. You excited for your meat lovers?
Oh, this looks good.
So what is in it again?
It's ham, bacon, pepperoni, and sausage, and they have mozzarella cheese and Parmesan on it already.
Awesome. Mine is, like I said, pepperoni and this hot honey stuff, and it does look like there's Parmesan. That is correct. All right, man. We'll let it cool off a little bit, and then I guess burn your tongue. You don't really wait very long, so.
No, I certainly don't.
No.
It's too good to wait.
Yeah, but we'll find that one out.
I didn't like it as much as yesterday, but this is still a really damn good pizza.
Yeah, I'm actually going to disagree. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I actually like this better than yesterday's. Now, I want to be very clear on this. I think that when we did yesterday's, I shouldn't have done sausage, mushrooms, and pepperoni. Just like one is what I'm kind of learning with Detroit style. And I think that pepperoni is the best one, at least to complement like the crust style. However, the honey thing, I feel like that needs to be just a baked-in staple of Detroit style. I don't think I would put that on any other type of pizza, but uniquely to the way their crust is, because it's basically like fried bread. Mm-hmm. Integrating with honey is a perfect sweet savory combo. I highly recommend it. It was also hot honey, so it wasn't just like normal honey. So it's like spicy, savory honey. It's really good. I really liked this.
You really liked me.
No. The thing behind you, the pizza place. Good morning. It is day 4 here in Michigan. Well, basically the Detroit area. And today's adventure, what we're doing is we're heading on up to the Maple Empire today. Yes. Now you might be thinking, oh, you're going to cross at the Windsor border like you showed us.
No, we didn't. We made a mistake. We realized we were far enough north when we got our hotel. We were in Auburn Hills, famously where the Detroit Pistons used to play. Now they play downtown. And that was so far north that the map was like, just go up to the Sarnia border and cross there. So we'll have to show you Windsor later. But we'll show you basically 2 ways to go across the border if you're in Michigan. Are you excited to go back to the Maple Empire?
Oh, yeah.
You want some maple?
No.
Oh.
I hear they got donuts there.
They do have donuts. Bad ones. It's called Tim Hortons.
Can't be any worse than
Actually,
Dunkin'.
oh, it's much worse.
Oh, dear.
So Dunkin' probably uses like high fructose corn syrup and stuff, like not real wheat and sugar and normal things. But Tim Hortons, fun fact, they use rubber cement. So it's terrible. Dude, there's a Portillo's out here. That's a big Chicago chain. You love Portillo's, right?
I love Portillo's.
Portillo's is good.
Cake shake.
The rest of the country, you guys are welcome. Well, we're in Port Huron, and you can tell we're near the Maple Empire because I can see Tim Hortons everywhere. Blah! Why are they in the U.S.? Okay, I know Burger King owns it. Shut up. So we're still in Michigan. You can see there's an A&W here. By the way, A&W, very good, kind of rare in the U.S. Much more common in Canada, though, I'm just going to be honest. Better in the U.S. So we're in a town called Port Huron, which is a border town. The Canadian side is Sarnia. And like border towns always do, they throw all the stereotypes of the other country's desires right there in front of them. So when you get to this side, it's all American flags and just like, here's McDonald's and all the expectations you have. Canadian side will put a Tim Hortons in your face, like that kind of thing. But because it's the US and Canada, there's not a whole lot of crazy differences in culture, but they do what they can. Oh, and in case it isn't obvious, we're gassing up before we cross the border because it's cheaper on this side. Well, this one's new to me. Anybody see this out there? The Cocoa Pebbles Cinnamon Bar. A Milky Way Midnight. I haven't seen one of those in forever. So check this out, everybody. A new type of Kit Kat. We're going to try this later. Are you excited for pink lemonade Kit Kats?
Oh, yeah.
Are you actually?
A little bit.
Mildly. That's what we like here. This is some nostalgia berries for me, man. I've crossed this bridge like many times over the years, like starting from 2007. I actually went to Canada at least once every single year, except 2020 for obvious reasons. But every other year, I've done it at least once. We're closing in on the end of the year and I haven't done it yet. But that is about to be rectified. So with this entrance, there is a toll fee. It's $3 US for a car. It doesn't seem like they accept Canadian money anymore. At least they used to. It doesn't seem like they do now. So we've just like $3 in quarters, but that's totally fine. And yeah, it's the border crossing itself is not a fee, but it's just this thing. All right, we paid the toll, which interestingly they no longer allow you to use cash. It's only credit. So, yay future! I'm actually very much for that. I hate cash. So it's a very gloomy, dark day, but you can see the river here a little bit. Left side would be Canada, right side is Michigan. So in the U.S., so obviously left side is Ontario. Cool bridge up there. At least on this side, it's relatively short, but obviously they're doing construction or something, so yeah, not great, but that's okay. We expect to be waiting for a few minutes at the very least. We are about to reach that 50% point where you're now technically in Ontario, right there, dual language. We are now officially in Canada. Not legally exactly, that part's still to come, but welcome to Canada. Yeah, well, we'll see about that. No, we will. It'll be fine. But that's the initial entrance point down there. Awesome. Kind of interesting, they have it both in kilometers and miles, but I would bet that that's really just at the border. So right over there is the duty-free store. We may or may not go to one of those at some point. Those are cool. And then this is, of course, actual customs. The camera's going to go off here in a second because they obviously do not like this. Look at my beloved Nexus lane. See, that guy gets to use it. I would love to use it. I have Nexus, but somebody, I won't say who, but somebody doesn't have Nexus, so we have to use the normie lane.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Although you're in Canada, so I love that the first word that came out of your mouth was sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. All right. That's it. We're officially inside the Maple Empire. The border was viscous and thick, but we did it. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
First time you've been in Canada in a long time.
Very long.
And we don't need the currency exchange because cash is stupid.
Yeah,
I
stick with that stuff.
Yeah. So we are now at an en route, which is short for Ontario route. Think of it like an American, like U.S. Oasis on the Oasis highway system in the U.S. So it's basically just filled with different stores and restaurants like Starbucks, Tim Hortons, the Burger King. You know, most of the American chains, actually, I think all of them are American, even Tim Hortons now. So whatever. There's also gas
petrol. No, not here. They still call it gas. Per Canadian law, the Tim Hortons is packed to capacity. And New York fries, I always forget that Canadians love to invent American-named chains that aren't from the States. It's funny to me. So, fun fact for you. In Canada, Atlanta Dave's name is Pesci. Dave Pesci. Off. So if you've never had them, these all dressed up potato chips, they're made in Canada. These are really good. They're really hard to describe because it's just like a combination of flavors thrown together. I'm trying to bully him into getting them. But he's very picky. So if he doesn't like them, he's scared. Yeah, plus they sell a lot of beer. They did like Olga's. Well, this is Olga's as a potato chip. Does that help sell it?
Okay.
I don't even know what I meant by that, but hopefully it seems to have worked. Observation. This whole area smells incredibly like farm animals. And I know this is because this is where the majority of their agriculture is in southern Ontario, because they can't grow stuff on the Canadian Shield, and this is their best piece of land. However, canonically, for the purposes of comedy, it's because my free American nose is devoid of the absence of freedom, and therefore it smells like a farm. So we're doing some food stuff now on this section of driving and eating garbage. So the first things we've got the American pink lemonade Kit Kat. We have the Canadian all dressed up Ruffles. And homie over here loves Dr. Pepper, but I don't think he's ever had a Canadian Dr. Pepper, and yes, they are different. So we're going to have a little taste test here. What's better, Canadian stuff or freedom? Yeah, no pressure on your citizenship here.
It's probably going to be freedom.
I doubt it, actually. But go ahead. All right, well, so where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with Canada and save the best for last.
Oh, the arrogance. That's very patriotic.
I have to. Yeah. You need to have, like, the American flag waving when I do this.
Ironically, I think there's a Canadian flag behind you somewhere. Are you going to sing the Star Spangled Banner, or are you going with O Canada?
Well, I don't know O Canada. And
well, no, I'm thinking of South Park. I meant God Save the Queen or whatever.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I like this.
Oh, Canada.
I don't know why. And you're right. You can't explain this.
Land. He's going full Canadian there. But you do like it.
That wasn't me singing.
That was me.
It's all right.
He ate two. Trust me when I say with this guy, that's actually a big deal.
Is it?
Yeah, because usually you're just kind of a one bite and I don't like it, I'm done type of person.
I said it was good.
Yeah, and you said you couldn't describe it. Canadian Dr. Pepper.
It's about the same.
Okay.
Not much difference there.
All right.
Which is good, because it means I can actually drink it.
And not complain.
I won't be, like, eager to get home to get my Dr. Pepper. Although I brought some with me, so I guess
He did.
I'm all right.
He actually did. There's a whole 12-pack back there.
All right. Now we're getting into the pink stuff. Here we go.
I can smell it from here.
That sounded bad.
It's not wrong. It's better than that, like, poop smell outside.
Oh my God. You just had to bring that up.
I did. All right, what do you got?
These are good. I don't taste the pink lemonade.
I smell it.
It smells like it, yeah, but it doesn't taste like it. It just tastes like a white chocolate Kit Kat.
So of the three things here, which one would you like to eat the most?
Well, obviously the Dr. Pepper. I mean, it's not eat, but it's the three item of the three items.
Canada won.
Sorry, America. I let you down.
You did. Pink lemonade Kit Kat actually wasn't terrible, but these are better. Either one of us voted Canada. Sorry, America.
We're both horrible Americans.
To be fair, this is not really a good contest, but whatever, it happened anyway. But Canada smells like farm animals.
And they're going to lose on pizza in the end anyway, so we still win.
Bold. So we just happened to notice this. Canadian license plate says, I'm free, I am. Sorry, man, no, you're not. Before any of you get really upset about our little Canada versus America jokes here, I'd like to point out that Dr. Pepper and Ruffles are American while Kit Kats are British. None of this matters. So we're now in Mississauga. Actually, Snowman's back at the hotel. He just wanted time to do his own stuff. So I'm walking a little bit. So across the street we have a Petro-Canada, and naturally by law, there's a Tim Hortons right here. Oh my God, Tim Hortons is making pizza now. This might be the most offensive thing I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, part of me wants to see if I can get Snowman to eat it, but I don't want him to hate me, and that's the only possible outcome there. Adam, what's with all the Tim Hortons jokes? There's one there, there's one there, and there's one over there. That's what's with all the Tim Hortons jokes. So believe it or not, Circle K is a thing here. We're gonna go inside and see if we find any Canadian treasures. We did. I ended up getting a bunch of candy bars for my cousin. I'll show you guys those in a bit. Also, a lot of different varieties of potato chips that are suddenly popping up here. Very weird stuff, very cool stuff. And I bought one, and we're gonna try and make Snowman eat it. We'll see. And you're probably noticing the gas prices. Keep in mind that's Canadian dollars per liter, not gallon. Coffee Crisp, for those who don't know, Coffee Crisp doesn't taste anything like coffee. It's just kind of something meant to be, you know, ate while you're drinking a cup of coffee. It's kind of like a big Kit Kat. It's really good, staple. However, they also do special edition ones. This is a caramel cappuccino one. So this one actually is supposed to taste like coffee. Very cool. We also got a couple of unique Kit Kats. Drumstick, like the ice cream. Yeah, they got one. See how that goes. As well as the Chocolate Extreme, which I don't know, I mean, it's a lot of chocolate, I guess. And then finally, the Mars Bar. This is, though, is a special edition cookie dough version. And before you're like, why are you eating all this crap? None of this is for me. Getting it from my cousin. And last but not least, the one I would actually never want, the Cookie Biscuit Crunch. I don't like Crunch bars, but he does. Mix it with a nice cookie biscuit, and maybe he'll enjoy himself. Back on the road. We're doing something you're not supposed to do. We're in Ontario, and we're going to get poutine. I know, the thing is, it's not a national dish. My fellow Americans, it's not a thing that every Canadian just eats. It's really a Quebec thing, but he wants to try it. There's also a Canadian chain called, like, Smoky's Poutine, kind of like a Super McDonald's equivalency, but that's what we have to live with. However, we're going to spice this up a bit. We're going to see an old friend of the channel and my main channel. Hey guys, look who it is. Scott the Canadian. Long time no see, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
You might not ever see me again after this.
Oh yeah, that's the food is here. What'd you get?
Mine is
Pulled
worse.
pork poutine, thanks to Adam.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And well, Snowman, are you ready?
I made mistakes.
Look at this thing. That's the cheeseburger one?
Yeah. It's supposed to be cheeseburger bacon, but they don't have any bacon.
But they had extra cheeseburger.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. If you guys don't remember Scott, he was in the Toronto episode last year. And of course, he's been in many videos on my main channel over the course, dude. It's been like 10 years. I think the first video we did Toy Rat at was like 10, maybe 9 years ago.
2014 maybe?
So that would be 10 years ago.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, he's OG. This is us. Boom. All right, well, go ahead, dive in. All right, guys, mine is here. What did I get? Pierogies. Suck it, sunshine. What did you cut to me for? So we're now at a Starbucks. I need you to tell me what you thought of your poutine.
It was a lot. I didn't even get close to finishing that thing, but I appreciate anybody that could, because that was crazy.
So you would agree maybe if we were going to do poutine, we go up to Quebec?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
They make it the best.
They make it the best. Again, it's like doing a Chicago-style pizza in not Chicago. That might happen. Anyway, I liked mine. Same exact story. It was good. Too much food. You?
It was pretty dang good, but man, I didn't even make a dent in it. That was just overload.
Yeah, the ones we got were so huge, we could only eat enough just to close the box. So if you look at our leftovers, it looks like we ordered a brand new one. It's very bizarre. Anyway, now that we're in a Starbucks, we got, I don't remember, Praline something?
Oat something? Praline something?
Praline something? And you got
peppermint mocha.
peppermint mocha.
It's Christmas time.
I got nothing.
I got a rock.
And that'll do it for part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned to part 3, in which we spend way more time in Southern Ontario. We'll start off in Mississauga, and we'll then head up to Toronto proper, and then eventually we'll make our way down to Niagara Falls, where you can see all that sort of stuff. It'll be fun, and there'll be a lot of weird Canadian food as well. So in the meantime, if you guys could do me a favor, please like this video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, as well as check out all the social media stuff in the description: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, Spreadshirt, etc. I appreciate the support on all those platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.